All right, in this video, we are going to work through the following problem. It says, write a program that produces the output below. Use functions to capture the structure and eliminate redundancy. Only use print statements inside of functions. Create a function for each of the three main figures to capture the pattern's structure. Also, create functions for the repeated portions of each figure to reduce the program's redundancy. Okay. So there are lots of ways that you can do this, but you can see that what we want to do is to print this um, figure, and it consists of kind of like these two vertical bars, this X right here. You can see that those two vertical are two horizontal bars rather, and the X get repeated quite often in there as well. So the two horizontal bars, the X and this vertical bar right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and start working on each of these individual pieces here. All right, so to print the two horizontal bars, then we would just need something like this. However many asterisks it is, maybe 5, 4, 5. And then a slash n, that, remember, that's the new line character that will go to a new line. So if we run that, that looks like so. And yeah, that's exactly what we want right there. However, it says only use print statements inside functions. So we'll need to put that inside of a function. And so we'll make a function, call it print bars. And remember, the function body has to be indented off of the, and I can test that by just running it down here. Okay, so that is the function that will print the bars. And next up, let's go with print the X. And for that one, we'll need a simple, I think it would be a space, then an asterisk, space, asterisk, and then a new line, and then maybe 3 spaces, and an asterisk, new line, and then a repeat of the last line there. Okay, so that doesn't look right. It looks like we need one less space here in the middle. Yeah, let's just check the pattern again. Yeah, that looks like it might work. So just testing here, let's call print bars. So we're going to call this method, and we're going to call the print X. So that looks to me like what we need there. Okay. All right. So far so good. We can see that we can print these bars, print the bars followed by the X. That happens 3 times in here. So we could go ahead, and if we felt like it, you don't have to do this, but you could have another method, print bars and X, to do one followed by the other. So inside that function, we would just have 2 calls to this function and this function as well. So print bars and X. So there is the bars and X. So we can use that sort of as a convenience. Now, one other thing that we are doing is that's not allowed according to the instructions are here we are using a print statement that is outside of a function. So um, actually, we aren't doing that yet. So this is just the function call, but um, we're going to have to do some other things in here as well about kicking this off. So the last thing is a small part of the figure is this vertical or horizontal, vertical bar right here. So let's go ahead and do a function that does that part. So we'll make another function to do that. Def print. I'm just going to call it print line. And so that will be 3 asterisks. And in between, we'll have the new line character. But I think we're going to have to add a couple spaces there before each asterisk. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And just test that out in the console and see how it looks. Yeah, that looks right. Okay, so now I think we're ready to print the figure, right? So we're gonna have to print bars and X. That looks good. And then it looks like we're gonna have to print a space in there. It looks like to me like there's a space in between these. And then print bars and X again. So here you can see, every time we want to print the bars and X, all we have to do is put the function call in there now. And then I think the next thing is we want to print the bars again. So print bars. And then another space. Then the line and the bars and X again. Okay, so that looks pretty close to me. Space there, then the bars, X bars, space. Yeah, so that looks good. The one issue, it's printing what we want, but the one issue that I could see with this is if you go exactly by the instructions, right? Write a program that produces the output below. We've done that. Use functions to capture the structure and eliminate redundancy. We've done that, right? So we don't have to keep adding this line over and over again. Create a function for each of the 3 main figures to capture the pattern structure. Done. Also create functions for the repeated portions of each figure to reduce the program's redundancy. Done. Only use print statements inside of functions. So that we haven't done, right? Here, because here technically we have these 2 print statements that are outside of any function. So so that is the one area that I think we could improve here. And so how well, there's probably others, but just to go strictly by what the instructions say, we could put this inside of a another function, print figure. And we'd have to indent all these lines. All right, so there now we don't have any print statements inside of all print statements are now inside of functions. And so what we would have to do is to kick this off with a function called to that print figure. And I should save this. All right, so now run it, and there we go. I think that complies with all of the instructions in the statement of the problem. So, all right, that's it on this one.